This is a confident card from the spell casting. But let me see if there's something specifically in the guidebook for you, okay? There is like a thing that you need to remind yourself to say daily. I fully believe in myself and have confidence in all I do. And is there anything else? You have to learn to release what is lacking your confidence. Perhaps this first affirmation that I gave you, the statement, can help you because you gotta believe it, that you have that. Otherwise, you gonna hesitate, you're gonna doubt, or whatever that passion that you have, whatever that gut feeling that you have that is trying to tell you something. If you hesitate and when you doubt, you don't believe in those things, even though they're truthful to you. So whatever you do, be authentic and don't try to compromise. And you just have to stand up for yourself with that confidence. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from the spiritual guardian. This is one card reading for D. I'm using the Thought Tarot here. This is the Magus. Let me see. You want me to use the visuals? Why do I feel like temptations in this card? Like I want this and I want that. But then you're not understanding about energies, how the spiritual world works. There is no such thing miracles. The way how people might think, they think they know, but really they don't, because they're all trapped in the belief that, how to put this, I don't know, TikTok's gonna not that too visual. I mean, just in case. Because people think that they can continue practicing negative emotions to get whatever desire they want. So they will use whatever mean that's available in the society. I'm just giving you some example. I'm not saying you're doing it, okay? I'm just saying that, hey, people burn candle, make your wish come true, make your life better, do some black magic or manifesting through their own energy, but they don't understand the type of energies that not naturally belong to the human souls. And that's where the culprit is, okay? So that's the problem. It's not written anywhere because they lost touch with their own co-creator from the spiritual side of that. And who I'm channeling through your spiritual guardian. That is your co-creator. D, you lost touch with your co-creator. Therefore, people like you come to me to ask for help to connect with their own co-creator. And that's what I'm here for, because you still focus on your egoistic self. Too much desire, and you're not understanding where your desires are coming from. Why do you feel the way you feel? Do you believe that it is normal to have desire? Sure, it is. Do you feel like it's normal to have preference? Sure, those are the type of normalcy, because you're stuck in this from your human ancestor that chose to mix their true nature with the dark side in them. So therefore, how it's totally off balance. And this desire, this is the face that I'm seeing from this guy here in this Makers. This is more like a magician card here. Soft, okay? But this is a very non-traditional deck that I'm reading. But Just to let you know, you need to question your desires. Are you doing what everybody else are doing? Then stop. This is not the path to take to connect with the spirituals, because that is coming from the mixture of negative emotions and tainted your light, that you're not understanding your soul origins. What does your soul really need? I'm glad to end here. May you find life from the spiritual guardian. The mystical moment for you, Shirley. This one card waiting. Let me move the instruction away so you can see this card. This is the full card here. There's a huge alligator. She's walking on this beautiful gardens. And let me see her face here. It's like curious. She is curious, but she's not aware there's a huge alligator that she's standing on. So there's a wisp here. Wherever life journey that you decide to take along the path, doesn't matter how beautiful it might look on the outside, but underneath it all, it's hard for you to understand, because you're so trapped by all these beautiful things on the surface. Surely, look deep within. Stop allowing those external things to influence you. They trigger your desires on the surface, but then you might not really getting something that could serve your greatest good. And this is the end of your reading. May you find life from the spiritual guardian. Okay, I'm using the mystical moment tarot for you here. For Katrina, King of Swords, I'm seeing here. I think if you're using your mind to see things in your life, it creates a very narrow view for you, and it's very hard for you to expand outside of that, your so-called perceptions. So you need to ask yourself why you only want to see things this way. If there's some underlying influences inside of you, perhaps some belief from the past experiences that you have, perhaps even admire that influence you, that someone that you trust, someone that you look up to for advice and so forth, or someone that you prefer or you want to be like this person in that regard, may have created some false value in you, Katrina, to cause your mindset to be so nailed, so you could not expand outside of that perceptions, okay? Even as basic as culture, you know how people practice certain culture, they're so stuck in that rituals. And I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying you're stuck in cultural ritual, right? But that's a good example. It's all around the world. And they do some sort of things that, oh, this is feeling weird. But to you, oh, it's not. I believe in those things. So therefore, I stuck into that culture. You see how that is? You know, it's hard for you to expand outside of that. So this is just an example for this, for you to help you understand why your mind is so nailed, how the societal norms can cause you to be just like that, assemble as culture. And this is the end of your reading. May you find life from your spiritual guardian. This is from the Thought Tarot for Sindi here, one card reading. This is the Princess of Swords. Let me get a closer look at this visual here. Some sort of fighting for something. You're trying to get out. I'm seeing this Princess of Swords. The outfit got trapped in the tower. You're trying to escape from it. I feel like you're trying to escape some sort of void, maybe. But this here, like escaping, maybe you're trying to avoid or try to hold yourself back from certain situation, whatever that you're in, causing you to have turmoils. And I know this is not a good energy here, right? It tried to suck you back in there, but you try to get out of it. Perhaps the way you're getting out of it is to physically moving away from that situation. But have you thought about energetically moving away from that situations? So there's a two different thing, physical and the energy, right? So do you understand that your emotions do create energy? Either that energy sink your spirit or it's going to uplift your spirit. So you have to discern which way you're going to go, Cindy. So any negative emotions, you're going to have to learn to release to help you so that way you don't keep sinking your spirit. Why am I getting depressions? That's what I'm sensing through your energy. Sometimes if you're getting angry, depression can incite anger in you, and you might not be realizing that. It's not just sadness, right? Depression can come from many different forms. It is a invisible emotional disease. The earlier that you catch it, the better. You don't want to wait until you accumulate such a significant amount of it and not realize, oh, why suddenly a lot of things going wrong. So it is up to you to realize it, that anger can come from depressions. It's not just sadness. It's not just like a lack of interest, or it's not just like avoiding something, right? Hopefully you're not going to deny yourself having those type of negative emotions. The more you realize how your inside is working, it's telling you something, the better you can energetically move away from that. It is about releasing those specific negative emotions, but please don't rely on the outside to do it. You just have to wield your power, being your inner creator, to take back that control, so that way you're not allowing the external side to continue to influence your inside, to continue to encourage more of the same thing to come out of you. And that's called emotional triggers. So the more self-reflection that you do, the more you will realize what you need to do to heal yourself. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Card reading for Shannon using spell casting. This is a answer card. See the specific message here. The book is open at will. Reveal wisdom and the answer you're looking for. That's the statement here. Is there specific things about this page and book? At will. You haven't. You gotta look at your higher self like a page, like a book that you can open to reveal information to you. You gotta dive deeper in there before you're proceeding with the physical life form. Because you haven't do enough studying about your inside. What it is that your soul is trying to tell you. And I hope you will be working on integrating your body, mind, heart, and souls to live this lifetime and stop being stuck in this physical life form. If that's all there is to you, Shannon. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from the spiritual guardian. This is this one card for you, Jennifer, from spell casting. This is a transformation card here for you. Butterfly signifies self-transformation. If you see it, it's just trying to nudge you, hey, You gotta do something to change yourself. Otherwise, you know, keep carrying this burden in you. And it's not gonna be good for you, right? Because of the energy is coming from your negative emotions. Have you identified enough of your negative emotions? Are you embracing those emotional triggers, whatever that you're going through, whatever you're encountering from your day-to-day life? Your spiritual guardian wants you to open your heart. Don't close it. If you're gonna keep closing your heart, you're gonna resist the spiritual transformations. You have so much color in you, and you just have to know what they are, Jennifers. The more you know who you are, the better you understand how darkness is not serving your greatest good. Spirit, your spirits needs to feel this love. Your spirit need that sacred space for you to nurture this love. How are you loving yourself? How have you been transforming yourself? Is it really love? Or just another barrier to reduce the love that you're supposed to have inside of you, Jennifer? So spend some me time to find out what that is. And I feel like reflecting your past will do you good of how sometimes transformation can be on the negative side instead of the positive side. When you're lost, remember, open your heart to unconditional love. So that way you know conditioning does not serve your greatest good. I'm glad you ended here. May you find life from your spiritual guardian. One card reading for Aubrey from Spellcasting. Getting this animal card here. Let's see what the guidebook has in store for you. I'm not too sure. Animals brings healing. Let me channel a little bit. I don't think it's coming from this guidebook here. I'm not sure what's the intention of your communication. Aubrey is able to communicate with animals. That is the affirmation from the spiritual guardians. Anything else she needs to know? I'm guided to end it here. May you find life from your spiritual guardian. This is for Blondie, one card from Thought Tarot. So I'm getting the word defeat here. Let me take a look at the visual here. I feel like this is going into a cycle here. I'm seeing 5 different swords here, 5 of swords. They're all pointing to the same thing. Perhaps you have some sort of negative thoughts, not realizing where is that coming from. Perhaps you got triggered by some sort of negative emotions and not realizing why you keep having that negative emotions. But I feel like it's very specific ones. Blondie. Perhaps you're stuck and not sure what to do about it. It is the fear. Remember, you're trapped in this dark society that encourage this called fear-based living. Why? Look at the government system with all those wars. You gotta do all that. and you have to go through educations. Having your parents taught you something too, right? When you're young, go with this. That's how it works. That's how you survive in this society. This is all about the fear-based living. It's all about survivals. Sure, they might try to teach you about love, teach you about life, teach you about, oh, get married, have kids. If that ever the one that's calling out to you, right? That calling your heart to say that's the one to marry, right? And so forth and so forth. I mean, of course you have friends and all that, you know. But do you see? I'm saying all this are all external stuff, Blondie. They trap you into all this conformity, so-called normalcy, to make you believe, oh, that's who you're supposed to be. You're a human being like all the other human beings, so normal. And that's why it's causing you to repeat this same cycle over and over. And this saw is like stabbing your soul. This center here I'm pointing at, it's like your spirit cell, your soul is hurting inside because you're living on this outside point of view that I just mentioned, all this non-conformity, normalcy, what everybody else are doing. It's too normal, but the parents don't know that. Your grandparents don't understand that because we're all trapped into this cycle until you're moving yourself away from that to say, oh, I gotta go dive deeper inside to see how I externalize everything. The more you externalize everything, the more you pouring out. You're emptying out your heart. You're emptying out your spirit self. So therefore, you got nothing inside of you. All emptiness, loneliness. Even though you have people around you that care and love you. Do you see why? Because you don't have the love inside of you to begin with. All this external factor only kill your own love that you once have. The only way to move away from that is to work within yourself, not to go dependent on anyone to love, to give you attention, to give you a hug, to give you a kiss. Those are all external focus. What one day you don't have any of those things from the outside. And guess what? You're going to collapse. You whether, don't want to live anymore. Because all those things you care and love are all disappear, perish one day. Because you still haven't understand love should not come from the outside, should only come from the inside. So therefore, Blondie, when you're being triggered by this sadness, go within to identify why you're sad. Go within and see why you're empty inside. Are you still conditioning your life? When you're being triggered with those good feelings, that is a good indicator you're codependent on something on the outside to feel good. When you are smile, when you're laughing at a joke, when you're smiling and you're feeling warm because someone give you a kiss or give you a hug, it's like, mom, I love you, or something like that. Even you saying it to your family, not only family saying it to you, or, it could be either way. You're doing it externally. And that's not self-love, Blondie. That is only temporary to make you feel good. So look within to see what you need to do to release that. Perhaps you need to detach that preference. Perhaps you need to detach that judgment. Perhaps you need to detach that false belief about how human life should live in that fear base of living. Anything else for Blondie here? I'm glad you ended here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is a reading for Tiffany. Using thought, it's Queen of Swords here. But let me block this because I don't like nudity. TikTok. Seeing is exposing the chest, okay? So Queen of Swords. think you want me to use a guidebook for you on this particular one. Sword. Let's talk about intention. Your intention from the inside. Perhaps you think things through. Perhaps you know what you want. Perhaps you work on how to obtain what you want. But then you're not understanding the intention why you decided that is the right decisions for you to act on that. Acting does not mean just doing, right? Just as simple as speaking about it or solving your problems. This is all on top of your mind, but then you still not quite have the understanding about the intentions. There's often an underlying feelings about the intention that motivate you, to motivate your thought. Your guardians want you to understand that. Can you freeze your mind for the moments and feel what is that underlying feeling that you're having and how it is connected to your mind to make you think this way, to make you decide this way, to make you want to express or act this way. And this is the end of the reading. Tiffany, may you find light from your spiritual guardian. Question reading for Ariana. Your potential for long-term romance with Diego's. Currently just friends. And got to use spell casting and not me not. But let me go to let me not first. Let me move this out of the way. What are we waiting for? Let's do this. Ready. There is chemistry. There is this romance energy. And there is this, I'm seeing something else. Romance, compatibility, and chemistry at certain levels. You both have it. This energy, which is a beautiful energy that I'm seeing here. I feel like we are in each other's life for reasons, serendipities, like destined to be in the past, current, and potentially in the futures. But this future, it's a little bit dimmer for some reasons. But currently, yes. I feel like this energy needs to be focused now, but not to anticipate the futures. That's what I'm getting here. Because you have to live this moment, to cherish this moment with this person. Otherwise, you don't make the best of it, then what is there to do in the futures? That's what I'm getting, the message here. So don't define the time, how long you're going to be with this person. You know, even couples, they don't die on the same day, right? Many of them die at different years. And then you can't really define what is considered really long term or like partner in this regard. I feel like that's the purpose of your spiritual guardian is trying to tell you guys. So yeah, so therefore you really need to cherish every moment that you have encounters. Make the best out of it. Like speak the language of love. Speak the language of compassion. Speak the language of forgiveness as well. For some reason there's some forgiveness needs to be done in this relationship about the past. My love life isn't really a priority at the moment. There's some other priority. The ego has some sort of priority, like career. That's what I'm seeing. But not that he isn't open for something. The uncommitted. That's what I'm getting. Not that he isn't serious, but then he's not ready for a long-term commitment at this moment in time. That is his current energy that's speaking through me. If you really knew me, you would know that we are not right together. Incompatibility. From which side? The ego feels about you guys past situation. He still had this lingering feeling to think that we are probably not compatible with each other, whatever happened in the past. I'm picking up judgment. The judgment get in the way. The judgment trigger you both to feel that we're just probably not compatible. But is this really the truth of the matter? It's really depend if the opportunity for the reconciliation in the futures. How are you both gonna reconcile? If there is a forgiving heart in both of you regarding those judgment in the past, regarding those argument in the past, are they still lingering deep inside both your hearts to trigger this thing to reoccur, like the same pattern to reoccur? That's something to be seen. That's something to be evaluated, but definitely worth reflecting on to see what each one of you need to improve. I'm talking about the self-improvement. Without the self-improvement, how would you really learn and grow in a relationship together? Doesn't matter what that relationship might be. Even friendship right now can grow, right? To a stronger friendship. And who knows in the future that will we spark this romantic feeling that you both once have, this chemistry, this compatibility that from the first card that I was reading about. We are definitely not on the same page, out of sync. I think goals, desires are not often at the right timing. What he wants, what you want are not really at the right time together. And that's also part of the separations and not hearing each other properly. That also another culprit of the separation in the past. Perhaps there's some demand on both sides and cause the truth to come out, to say, oh, that's what you really want all this time. Oh, same thing. The other person's like feeling that way as well. That's why the ego was feeling this incompatibility. But again, this is just personal desire. But what does that have to do with love? Have you all thought about that? If you demand something, but what does that have to do with love? Relationship tend to conditions, like I want this 1 2 3 and this guy want 1 to 7 or something, for example. and then they have a bucket list and then compare this bucket list and say, oh, we're not compatible. But that bucket list is come from conditioning. They do not speak about love, the feeling, the chemistry, the true compatibility at this soul level, from this spiritual levels. What makes someone love someone cannot be explained when your soul blueprints just sync with each other. But however, when it's on this physical plane, that egoistic only speak about conditioning, how relationships should be conditioning, who should prioritize what, who should, provide this to meet your or his demand. In that regard, do you hear that language? That is not coming from love when it comes to this physical life form. But on that spiritual level, that definitely that chemistry. So is there potential? Yeah, your guardians say possible, but the question is, are you both willing to work on releasing the judgment? Are you both willing to let go the conditioning, the expectation of a relationship to make this a long-term romance? But there is enough chemistry to respect this romance, but then the ego side will crash to sink it this opportunity. So it's really up to you both to work on each other's, to work on your own self, not work on each other. If you happen to have the encounter to work on each other at the same time, work on your own self, I mean, that is great. But however, why not when there's no contact? You have to work on yourself to bring about the necessary self transformation, so that way you can speak from the love language, not from judgment, not from expectation, not from demand. So I hope that makes sense, Ariana. It's not just you, but I feel like on the ego as well. But despite his focusing on his career, his wealth, or whatever that abundance he choose, right? Beauty. And this is for you, Ariana. Your spiritual guardians want you to understand something about yourself. Let me go to the guidebook and see. You have to open your eyes through your spirit self to see the beauty around you. If not, then you tend to close it because your heart speaks different language, because you have preference, because you have judgment, because you have expectation. There's a strong dislike and light on things and people's environment and so forth. So therefore, it is very challenging for you to see the beauty in everything, whether they're living, non-living, with consciousness and no consciousness. It wants you to reflect on this, how you define beauty. Do you see beauty in everything, or you tend to choose and pick what is beautiful and what is not beautiful to you? Why does your spiritual guide want you to reflect on that? Because of this definition of beauty, it's holding you back from releasing those conditioning, those expectations that you have. And that's what lead to judgment. So, and I hope you see the intention of your spiritual guardian of why, if you can maintain this neutral attitude, it will help you to work on this beautiful energy inside, right? To nurture this beautiful energy inside, instead of keep nurturing the one that you have from the past and bring it forward as of today. Well-being. Your guardians want you to focus on your well-being, to integrate your body, mind, heart, and soul together. Do you understand how each one of them is connecting to all of you, all part of you? Do you understand how one of them's not sinking can affect the rest of your whole being? So the more you understand yourself, the better you understand your well-being. Is it in a good stage right now? Your guardian saying average. And you still have to continue to understand you, to discover what it is that you still need to release regarding the judgment, expectation, the conditioning, the demands, so forth, how they're not serving your greatest good. The truth. The truth has to come out. That's what I'm hearing. I feel like there's some level of suppressions by you, Ariana, about the truth. It feels like you still allow your ego to drive your desires about the truth. How do you love yourself? Do you know the truth about how you love yourself? You have to let all the truth to come out in order to face each one of them. So it's better to confess it sooner than later. You have to confront yourself, not confront the other. If you're confronting other people, that means you're focusing on your external self, not your internal self. And that's where you're missing the key of everything. That's where you're missing the bigger pictures of everything. It wants you to remember that you deserve worthiness. You deserve the love from within you. You deserve to discover your truth. You deserve to know what is authentic to you. You deserve to know what is truly your passion. You deserve to know. I lost my train of thought. Your soul blueprints. You deserve to know your soul blueprints that make you unique in this universe. Willpower. You can will this power within you. You have the sea of light in you to light up everything. If you so choose to, you will this power. That's all in your soul levels. You know, your existence starts from your soul before your body. So how are you embracing your soul? If you connect with the soul, everything will fall into place naturally. You don't even have to try so hard on the outside to live this lifetime. When you're so connected to your soul, Ariana, you know what you need to do then. You don't even need an answer. You don't even need to think about that. Because you got this beautiful intuitive ability just to know what you need to do. Do you see how beautiful this soul it is for you to connect? Do you know that you can change your world regardless of how dark it might seem? Doesn't matter how that pain might be. It doesn't matter how this longing feeling that you might having in this relationship. You can change that, all those negativity, into a positive feelings. Start with forgiveness. Open your heart to compassion and ignite the unconditional love. So that way you're no longer practicing conditioning, judgment, expectations, and demand, and so forth. Anything else. Energies can be transformed through your willpower. Remember, it's a choice of how you feel about something, someone, situation, and the environment. When you're being triggered with negativity, change that thoughts. Change the way how you feel. Change the way how you see things, perceive things. Anything else for Ariana here? Diego. Diego is her. You want me to confirm something about Diego? Diego sold. What it is. Ariana, can you take a deep breath? Not to think, not to manifest anything. I have hard time. I'm getting conflicting informations. Do not manifest anything about Diego. So that way I can get an accurate information from the spiritual guardian. So Diego is soul mate. Diego is your soulmate, not your twin flame, Ariana. You can have many soulmates in your lifetime, Ariana. To have chemistry, to have compatibility, but you can only have one twin flame soul that is that has the most compatibility with you. Okay, this is an affirmation from your spiritual guardian. Anything else? That potential with your twin flame, it's 100%. Not with the soulmate. Anything else for Ariana? Got to end it here. May you find light from the spiritual guardian. This is a card reading for you, Ariana, from the Fault Tarot. This is the Prince of Swords. I feel like you're in between world, Ariana. The darkness and light conflicting back and forth with each other's. I think you're struggling with discernment because of emotions. Emotions get you to trap into reactions. The more that trigger you're having, the longer you hold on to that trigger, the more you stay in that reactions. Reactions blind you from thinking properly. Emotions gonna blind you from continue to do unfavorable decisions and unfavorable act. So the more you work on your releasing those unfavorable emotions, the more clarity it will return back to you. So that way your inner worlds does not have to be fluctuating so much by those emotional triggers. So I hope that makes sense. That's why you're so in between two worlds. Like, how well are you discerning the difference between dark and light? How well are you aware of your deeper feelings? I'm not talking about the feeling on the surface. Like, if you're worried about something, do you understand where that worry coming from? Do you understand that worry can tie to the fears? Can you understand that worry can make you act in an impulsive way? Do you understand that worry can cause you to Some sort of, I already talked about impulsive way, but worry can also cause you to, am I allowed to channel any further than this? No, it's blocking me. It does not want me. That's why I'm stopping here. But I'm just trying to give you an idea of how worry can come from the source of fear. Oh, make you defensive. Now I'm getting it. Now it's telling me it can cause you to be defensive as well. Like, that's not me. Somebody else. You're getting it wrong. Don't accuse me in that regard. And I'm just speaking that feelings for you about multiple situations in your lifetimes. And then also feel like blaming as well. So this has come from fear. Fear has so many forms. So I hope that you understand your guardian is trying to say you have to discern that. You have to dive deeper into this surface of the worry that you're feeling. What is this underlying feeling? What is the cause and effect? What is the trigger of this worry? Yes, you're looking at the physical point of view from the outside, and you might, oh, this situation, this person, this task triggering me, but you're not understanding the emotional side of you from the inside. What is that other feelings are still triggering to cause you to worry? That's just spiritual guiding and trying to nudge you to go inward, not to focus on the outside to do the release. That is the critical step to have this inner awareness to help yourself to heal wherever that you need to release and heal. Anything else I need to say about that? I'm guide to enter here. May you find light from the spiritual guardian. From the thoughts tarot, it is the wound. 10 of Swords. Destructions. Wound. This word quite strong. I'm seeing the tip of the sword blended, like trying so hard into this directions, even though it's hitting the wall, hitting the brick, hitting this metal piece. You can't go through it anymore, and you're still trying to move forward with that, Queen. That's the type of energy. If we want to continue this destructive path, go ahead, but it's not going to get you anywhere. If you're not picking up the sign, if you're not picking up the pattern, if you're not even picking up how you drive yourself with your negativities to do just that, you have so much to reflect about why you do what you do, why you say what you say, why do you desire this and that. And this is the angel reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Question reading for Tonya about Mitch. Is there further development beyond friendship? And this is using Not Me, Not Me, Not. What are we waiting for? Let's do this. Ready. So there's compatibility. That's what I'm seeing here between you two. There's chemistry as well in this. It's not just friendship, but there's a love, respectable love for each other. Anything else? I don't have feeling for you, but I don't want to hurt your feeling either. Polite. From whom? Both? Both sizes? Is this speaking from Mitch to Tonya or Tonya to Mitch? Tonya to Mitch? Okay, this is from you, Tonya. The way you feel toward Mitch from your higher self. So I don't know why, yeah, you're asking for this, but your higher self is saying, yeah, it's not that type of love. My heart isn't open to anyone because of how I was hurt in the past. Heartbroken. This is from Mitch, from Tonya, from both of them. That's how both your heart feels toward each other's. Relationship from the past that has not been healed. You both are leaving this room, like trying to move forward, but then you still have this lingering wound that is not healed from the past. Like you can't just really move forward. It's like that's why people having relationship carrying emotional baggage in the relationship not working. The longer you engage, the more you interact, the more you get more serious in that regard, then things start coming out. The darkness start coming out. You start getting triggered again, repeating the same old patterns. So I feel like it's toxic, okay? That's what I'm getting. But even though there is a dose of chemistry, compatibility, but it's not going to be enough because, and I'm just the second card, you're being nice. I feel like your higher self is saying that this is not the one, but you're not realizing it right now. And also emotional packages on both parties. And anything else I need to say for Tonya here? Is there further development beyond the friendship? Her spiritual guardian is saying, yes, possibility, if you want to pursue this. But also, this is the last card is trying to tell you perhaps you need to realize something about your true feelings. If perhaps you're wearing a mask, you're not being honest with your own feelings. Perhaps you're still having some sort of false belief about love that drive you to want to pursue more than friendship. So yes, so there is a development beyond friendship. But until then, any further I need to tell her. Guide you and here, may you find light from the spiritual guardian. I'm having this boundary card from this spell casting oracle for you, Doris, for this one card readings. Healthy boundary. What is a healthy boundary? Healthy boundary should be coming from a loving energy. Healthy boundary should not have any type of negative feeling to trigger you to need a boundary away from situation, away from people, away from environment, so forth, okay? If you're doing that in an unhealthy way, then you gotta watch out about why do you feel with that negative emotions. You need to understand your negative emotion. What is that the underlying cause that why you have this negative emotions? I think there's a variation of there's a fear, that's worry, and you have preference when it comes to compassions. So you're not compassion for everything. You're only compassion toward specific individual, specific things. I think you have a good thing issue as well, causing you to have compassion toward specific group. Anything else on that? So healthy boundaries should come from unconditional love. It should never define by conditionally. Because when you do that, you're encouraging more negative feeling toward yourself. And that's why you're keep getting triggered by negative emotion over and over is not healthy for you. Don't you want to be more happier? Don't you want to be free of worry, free of fear? So that way you don't have to live a life questioning, oh, what is the future is going to be, and so forth. What's going to happen? You know, or is there doubt, there's hesitation, something like that. That's what I'm getting from you, like, and causing you to worry. Worry, it's not happiness. Doris, I hope you realize if you truly want happiness, you need to dive deeper to learn to release your negative feelings so that way you can draw healthy boundary, not the unhealthy kind. This is the end of your reading. May you find life from your spiritual guardian.